Good day, students. Today we are going to take up income from other sources. This is the fifth edge of income. There are 5 edges of income and income tax. If you take any person, okay, his source of income is 5 edges of income. Number first one, income from salary. Second, income from house property. Third, income from business or profession. Fourth, income from capital gain, and final, fifth and last, income from other sources. Okay, any income which is not fall under first 4 heads of income, repeat, any income which is not fall under first 4 heads of income will be taxable under income from other sources. Okay, first 4 heads, what are the incomes excluded? Example, say just I written as a few examples. Okay, dividend from company is taxable under income from other sources. In general, dividend from Indian company exempted. Repeat, dividend from Indian company exempted under section 1034. Under section 1034, Indian company dividend is fully exempted. But okay, so I will tell once again, under section 1034 exempted, but in excess of 10 lakhs, repeat, dividend received by a person in excess of rupees 10 lakhs will be taxed at special rate 10% under section 115 BBDA. Under section 115 BBDA. So in general, if it is less than 10 lakhs, dividend income less than 10 lakhs fully exempted. Suppose in excess of 10 lakhs, dividend received by a person in excess of 10 lakhs, then it is taxable at the rate of 10% under section 115 BBDA. Okay. Next, another example. In case foreign company dividend, repeat, in case foreign company dividend is fully taxable. Say dividend 2 types: one, dividend from Indian company, dividend from foreign company. Dividend from Indian company till up to 10 lakhs exempted under section 1034. If it is more than 10 lakhs, it is taxable at the rate of 10% under section 115 BBDA. What about foreign dividend? Foreign dividend fully taxable. Foreign company dividend, a dividend is by a foreign company, dividend from foreign company is fully taxable under income from other sources. Next example, income from subletting. What is subletting? We is already seen in income from house property. Say I am one of the building, okay, I am let out to X. I am let out the property to X. Further, X sublet to Y. So X regularly pays me rent. It is taxable in the hands of me under income from house property. But same time, X also received rent from Y. Since X sublet the property to Y, in X hands it is taxable as income from other sources. Income from subletting is taxable as income from other sources. Next, cash income, very important one. What is cash income? Winning from lottery, card game, gambling, okay. Then Kaun Banega Crorepati, Kotishwari, Super Singer. So these are the, if a person wins, okay, from Super Singer or Kaun Banega Crorepati, it is taxable as 30% will be taxable. This is treated as cash income. This is treated as cash income. So all cash income will be taxable as income from other sources. Then gift, I will tell you later, detail. Then advance money forfeited. Already we discussed in this is section 51 of Income Tax Act. We already seen in income from capital gain. Advance money forfeited, if it is before 1/4/2014, it will be adjusted with cost of acquisition. But advance money forfeited on or after 1/4/2014, then it is treated as income and taxable as income from other sources. So advance money forfeited after 1/4/2014 will be taxed as income from other sources. Next, interest on securities. If you invest any bond or debentures, for that you get interest. That interest will be taxable as income from other sources. Interest on income tax refund. Sometimes, see, we pay more tax or TDS. After adjusting, we pay more advance tax. Okay. So finally, income tax refundable. Say 1 lakh, for example. Income tax refundable. Say 1 lakh. So income tax department, the refund to the assessee along with the interest. That interest will be taxed as income from other sources. Interest on income tax refund. Next, interest on deposit with bank, you know very well. Say fixed deposit or savings bank, any deposits, that interest will be taxed as income from other sources. Next, income from royalty. See, royalty. What is royalty? For example, say income tax, Singhania, Girish Ahuja, there are many authors. Okay, in Singhania, the book is published by Sultan Chand. So each and every book published by Sultan Chand has to pay some amount, that is nothing but royalty to the writer. Author, who is author? Singhania. That amount is called royalty. That royalty will be taxable as income from other sources. The next, income from letting of plant and machinery. In general, if a person letting his plant and machinery is treated as income from business. But in this case, this is nothing but, see, suppose, okay, Mr. X produce excess or supply demand, or demand is less, supply more, demand less. What happened? Excess production. This is called nothing but excess production. In case of excess production, okay, the company has to shut down. Minimum say 6 months. Minimum for 6 months they have to shut down. Why shut down? Not operate, because excess production. In case of excess production, the company again they produce useless. So what they plan? Okay, simply ideal. So suppose if anything ideal, that will damage. For example, if for 6 months without operating any plant and machinery, repeat, within 6 months you cannot at all operate plant and machinery. What happened? After 6 months it won't work. It's stuck. Okay, so you have to spend some reconditioning or repairing expenses. So in order to avoid such things, so better let out. So their main object is production of goods, not let out. Only for the purpose of time being they are let out. Thereby, that income will be clubbed as, that is, income will be taxed as income from other sources. That is income from letting of plant and machinery on hire. Next, income from vacant land. See, in nowadays, you can check it out with the many schools and many colleges. The ground used for cricket net practice by some other private persons. For that, they are paying monthly some amount. That amount is nothing but ground rent. That amount is nothing but ground rent or income from vacant land. This income will be taxed as income from other sources. The next, foreign agricultural land income. See, Indian agricultural income will be exempted under section 10 subsection 1. You know very well. Indian agricultural income is exempted. Of course, for the purpose of tax calculation, you have to aggregate. Second chapter. Okay. But foreign agricultural income will be taxable. Indian agricultural income exempted, but foreign agricultural income taxable under income from other sources. Next, family pension. See, Mr. X retired, gets pension. That amount will be taxable as income from salary in the hands of X. Suppose after Margya, X, say Margya died, after X, the pension will be received by his wife, Mrs. X. In this case, family pension or pension received by Mrs. X is taxable as income from other sources. Then, director sitting fees, you know very well. See, as per Companies Act 2013, minimum that is every 3 months one board meeting is compulsory. Okay, so for that board of directors they are attending. For that they are eligible for sitting fees. Okay, that amount will be taxable as income from other sources. And last one, income from undisclosed source or unexplained money, unexplained investment, etc., etc. This covers under section 69, 269, I think so. This covered under section 269. This is very important. Sorry, 69, not 269. This is covered under 69. Very important. Undisclosed source. Okay. This will be taxable as income from other sources. Almost say 75%. Around 75 to 77% will be taxable. That is, say you have some investments. Okay, income tax authority they asking question. What is the source of income? You said you are unexplained investment. You have no source. Then that investment will be taxed at higher rate, 16% plus surcharge plus cess. It comes around 75 to 75%. That amount will be taxed as income from other sources. See, this is few examples. There are many cases. Okay, so this is few examples. These are the income will be taxed as income from other sources. Next, we are going to take up, say, dividend. Why dividend? Dividend is exempted. In case of shareholder, it is exempted under section 1034. Why? Because dividend distribution tax paid by company under section 115(o), under section 115(o) at the rate of 20.5553%. So dividend distribution tax paid by the company, okay, on behalf of shareholder, company is paid. Thereby, in hands of shareholder, it is exempted. In hands of shareholder, it is exempted to the extent of 10 lakhs rupees. In excess of 10 lakhs, then 10% will be taxable. Okay. Any doubt? Suppose if it is foreign company dividend distribution tax will not cover for foreign company. It will cover only Indian company. Thereby, foreign company, that is a person received dividend from foreign company, will be fully taxable under income from other sources. In case of domestic company, shareholder, in the hands of shareholder, to the extent of 10 lakhs exempted. More than 10 lakhs, 10% is taxable. Okay, so till 10 lakhs, why exempted? Because the company has to pay dividend distribution tax under section 115(o) at the rate of 20.5553%, including cess, etc. Okay, doubt? Not even. Next important points. Listen, I will discuss unexplained source or unexplained cash credit or unexplained investment shall be taxed at the rate of 60%. At the rate of 60% plus surcharge 25% plus cess 4%. So all together, listen carefully, 60% plus 25% plus 4%. It comes to 78%. This is nothing but black money. If you have black money, government impose almost 78% of tax. Say for example, you have 1 crore black money. Okay, you have unexplained. How this money will earned? You are not unexplained or nothing. So that 1 crore, government has to take 78% on 1 crore. It means 78 lakhs goes to government. You have only 22 lakhs. So better you pay tax. Since 1 crore, almost you have to pay 40%, say 40 lakhs. 60 lakhs in hand. If okay, that's my point. If you give everything should be white, the tax will maybe takes around 40 lakhs. So 1 crore, say around 40%, 30%, surcharge, etc. Maximum say 40%. Maximum meant 40%. So 1 crore 40% means 40 lakhs gone. 60 lakhs in your hand. Suppose you are treated as black money 1 crore, then government has to take 78% on 1 crore. Thereby you have only 22 lakhs. Just take it out, 60 or 22. So better everything should be white. Fine. Next important point, deduction in respect of family pension. See, for example, family pension. I am talking about family pension received by Mrs. X. For example, 4,000 rupees per month she is receiving family pension. So 4,000 into 12, it amounts to 48,000. So family pension also eligible for deductions. Okay, how much deductions? 15,000 rupees or 1/3 of, listen carefully, 1/3 of pension received. 15,000 or 1/3, 48, 1/3, 16, 16 or 15, whichever is less. Whichever is less. That way 15,000 is exempted. Taxable family pension 33,000. Read, listen. Deduction expected family pension rupees 15,000 or one third of pension received, whichever is less. In this example, 4,000 rupees per month. So 4,000 into 12, 48,000. 48 into one third, 16 or 15, whichever is less, 15. That way, 33,000 is taxable. Next, family pension received by a widow of a member of armed force where the death of the member has occurred in the course of operation duty is exempted from tax under section 10 subsection 19. Any ex gratia received by widow is also exempted as per circular issued by the CBDT. See, in case of say army man, okay, during the course of duty, okay, in Madhya, dead, okay, thereby pension received by that ex army's wife is 100% exempted under section 10 subsection 19. Not only for pension, all gratuity, that is ex gratia payment also fully exempted as per CBDT circular. Next, family pension received by any member of family of individual who has awarded Paramveer Chakra or Veer Chakra or Mahavir Chakra is also exempted under section 1018. So pension received by any member of the family of individual who received Paramveer Chakra, Mahavir Chakra, Veer Chakra is exempted under section 1018. In case of army, 1019. In case of Mahavir Chakra, Veer Chakra, etc., 1018 exempted. Okay. Then interest on post office savings account. Interest on post office savings account to the extent of 3,500. To the extent of 3,500 is exempted under section 1015. Under section 10 subsection 15. See, 3,500 for single account. Suppose, do you have post office savings? How many of you post office savings account? 1, 2, 3. Very good. See, not see once upon a time, everyone see old people are invested in post office because interest rate is higher. In post office, interest rate is higher when compared to bank interest. So old people are depositing in post office savings account. Okay, that way, if you get any interest, okay, 3,500 exempted under section 1015. Suppose you have joint account, you along with your parent, father or mother. Then suppose if in order to you either yourself or your parent, okay, they can claim 7,000 rupees exempted. So single account 3,500. In case of joint account, 7,000 rupees exempted under section 1015. Next, interest on public provident fund is exempted under section 10 subsection 11. You know PPF, public provident fund. For that you are getting interest. That interest is exempted under section 10 subsection 11. Then finally, income from unit of mutual fund. See, dividend is exempted under section 1034. Income from mutual fund also exempted under section 1035. Okay, based on this, we will do problem. How do you know? This is CA intermediate problem. Okay, in CA textbook illustration to page number 4.484. 4.484. See, I have written as a small, okay, brief. Actually, the question is A Limited, a domestic company, declared dividend of 170 lakhs for the year financial year 2019-20 and distributed the same, financial year 18-19 and distributed the same on 10/7/2019. Mr. X holding 10% shares in A Limited received dividend of 17 lakhs. Mr. Y holding 5% shares in A Limited received dividend of 8.5 lakhs. Discuss the tax implication hands of X and Y, assuming that Mr. X and Y have not received dividend from any of the domestic company during the year. Listen, as far as dividend is concerned, be careful. Say Mr. X received 17 lakhs, Mr. Y received 8.5 lakhs. See, as far as Y is concerned, it is exempted under section 1034. Under section 1034 is exempted. Why, sir? Up to 10 lakhs exempted. Since A Limited pays dividend distribution tax under section 154 at the rate of 20.5553%. What about sir X? X in excess of 10 lakhs is taxed at 10%. That is, this 17 lakhs, out of 17 lakhs, rupees 7 lakhs is income from other sources. Rupees 7 lakhs as taxable as income. It is income. It is not tax. It is income 7 lakhs. Okay. How to calculate tax set? For 7 lakhs into 10%, 70,000. This is tax. So Mr. X has to pay 70,000 rupees as income tax since he is receiving 17 lakhs as dividend. As far as dividend is concerned, up to 10 lakhs is exempted. More than 10 lakhs, it is taxable at special rate of 10% under section 115 BBDA. Any doubt? Not any doubt? Next, Keyman insurance policy. Okay. What is Keyman insurance policy? Keyman insurance policy is a policy taken on the life of one person by another person where the insured plays a key role in the organization. The relationship between the two persons may be that of employer-employee or that of a principal agent relationship. For example, see A Limited, in which Mr. X plays an important role. He is an important person, key person. Okay, thereby A Limited takes Keyman insurance policy. Okay, on X. Okay, for that A Limited pays premium. That premium is nothing but you can take it as expense. For business or profession, for A Limited business or profession, the debit insurance premium taken on the health of Mr. X because X is a main person or key person. Okay, at the time of maturity, listen carefully, at the time of maturity, what is matured? Okay, X still in A Limited. X still in A Limited. Then it received by Mr. X. Thereby, it is taxable as income from salary. It is taxable as income from salary. Profit in lieu of salary. 1723 section. Profit in lieu of salary is taxable. Suppose, meantime, okay, before maturity, X leave the job. Okay, X joined some other job, and the policy received by A Limited. Therefore, it is taxable as income from business or profession. Understand? If X continue, okay, so at the time of maturity, X still in the A Limited. Thereby, it is taxed in the hands of X under income from salary. Suppose before maturity, X leave the job. Okay, join some other Y Limited, etc., etc. Then the maturity amount received by the A Limited is taxable as income from business or profession. And third case, very important. See, received by widow of X because X mar gaya during the course of operation. Before maturity, X mar gaya. Thereby, it is taxable as Mrs. X under income from other sources. Very important. If X received, income from salary. If it is company received, it is income from business profession. If Mrs. X received, that is this is okay, legal area of X received, then it is taxable as income from other sources. This is very important for Keyman insurance policy. Just note it down. Next, we are going to take up dividend distribution. Next deemed dividend under section 222E. Deemed dividend under section 222E. What is deemed dividend? Any loan or advance given by closed company directly to its shareholder who beneficially owns at least a 10% equity shares. 10% equity in the company, indirectly to any other concern or any other person. Okay, listen. See, very important. Any loan or advance given by a closed company nothing but private company, directly to its shareholder who beneficially owns at least 10% equity in the company. Means company 10% equity shares holds. Okay. For that person, company will pay gives any loan or advance or indirectly to any other person, okay, not this person, any other person, but for the benefit of such person, or indirectly to any other concern, okay, some other concern. Say, listen, I will explain the detail. See, PDT Private Limited, PDT Private Limited, okay, in which Mr. R holds, say, 12% shares. 12% shares. Okay, first case, directly to shareholder. See, PDT Private Limited, okay, wants to give any loan or advance to Mr. R. Note it carefully. PDT Private Limited, okay, any loan or advance given to R, then it is deemed dividend. We will say, wait, I will tell later. Okay, that it attracts deemed dividend provision. Okay, it attracts deemed dividend provision. Next, indirectly to any other person. See, not for Mr. R. Okay, loan or advances given to Mr. S, Mrs. S. Okay, who is Miss S? Mrs. R. Sorry, Mrs. R. Is nothing but for the benefit of Mr. R. Listen carefully. Indirectly to any other person for the benefit of such shareholder, Mr. R. Or third one, they are given to ABC Private Limited. Okay, they are given loan or advance to ABC Private Limited, in which Mr. R owes substantial interest. It means more than 20%. Profit sharing in case of profit sharing in case of partnership firm, in case of private company more than 20% of the shares. That way, see, indirectly it is a concern where such shareholder owns substantial interest in addition to 10% of shareholding in the company. Understand the 3 points. Say either directly the shareholder, okay, who beneficially owns more than 10% equity shares in the company, or indirectly any person, but for the benefit of such shareholder. Third, to any other concern in which just shareholder owns substantial interest in addition with 10% equity shares in the company. In all the 3 cases, listen carefully, then such loan or advance shall be deemed to be dividend in the hands of shareholder to the extent of accumulated profit. To the extent of accumulated profit of the company. The company shall pay dividend distribution tax at the rate of 30%. Listen carefully. Company has to pay dividend distribution tax at the rate of 30%. Dividend distribution tax. Deemed dividend rate, see, for individual rate 150 more 20.5553. But as far as deemed dividend is concerned, dividend distribution tax is 1 mark question, very important 1 mark question. Okay, so deemed dividend distribution tax for dividend distribution tax for the purpose of deemed dividend, it is 30%. See, 2 years back, deemed dividend is taxed in the hands of shareholder. Okay, last year there was changes, amendment, that is dividend distribution tax paid by the company. Therefore, in the hands of shareholder, it is exempted under section 1034. So, deemed dividend is exempted. So, what is deemed dividend? Any loan or advances given by the company. Okay, to the extent of accumulated profit, it is deemed dividend. To the extent of accumulated profit. What is the meaning? Very simple. This is balance sheet. Listen, this is balance sheet. Share capital, etc., dividend, etc. So, your reserves and surplus, accumulated profit, say 4 lakhs. Okay, suppose that PDT Private Limited gives either loan or advances to Mr. R for rupees 5 lakhs. For rupees 5 lakhs. For this, all the conditions are satisfied. Listen carefully, all the conditions are satisfied. This 5 lakhs, as I say, deemed dividend, not entire 5 lakhs. To the extent of accumulated profit, it means even though PDT Private Limited gives any loan or advances rupees 5 lakhs, to the extent of accumulated profit will be taxable as deemed dividend. Thereby, deemed dividend in this case 4 lakhs. Deemed dividend in this case 4 lakhs. Suppose accumulated profit, say 8 lakhs. Accumulated profit 8 lakhs. Then deemed dividend is 5 lakhs. You catch my point? To the extent of accumulated profit is deemed dividend. To the extent of accumulated profit is deemed dividend. Okay. So 30% along with surcharge, cess, etc. So effective rate will be effective rate not 30%, 34.944 percentage. 34.944 percentage dividend distribution tax. Carefully watch it out. 30% plus surcharge plus cess, thereby 34.944. I will repeat, 34.944 divided by 4 percentage. 34.944 divided by 4 percentage. That is 3.6. 30. So, then 30 percentage plus 12 percentage plus 4 percentage. 30 percentage tax rate 222 given distribution tax 30%, 12% surcharge. Okay, 30 put 12 percentage 3.36. For that add 4 percentage, it come under 34.44 percentage. I will prove. Listen, 30 plus 12 percentage 33.6 into 4 percentage plus equal to 34.944 percentage. That's all. Okay. Any other concern can be individual or chief or firm or company. Substantial interest means 20% of equity or 20% of profit. That's all. Based on this, we will go to problem. What do you know? Next, gift. Very important, gift. Okay. See, if you receive gift, it is exempted certain cases. In certain cases, it is taxable. Okay. The thing is, gift received from whom, very important. Suppose if you gift received from your friend, then it is taxable. Gift received from a relative, exempted. So provisions. See the provision. Gift. Okay. Mode of gift, either cash or other. Movable assets or immovable assets or cash. Okay. In case of cash received from relatives, fully exempted. Similarly, cash received from others, friends, etc., etc. On the occasion of marriage, it is also exempted. In all other cases, in any other case, cash gift, repeat, cash gift in excess of rupees 50,000 in aggregate, meaning, say one fine day, Mr. X, say myself, say one of my friends say gives gift, say cash gift, say 20,000, and so 1 week later, one of my friend also gives 20,000. Similarly, 10 friends give 20,000. So all the case, it is less than 50,000. But see, during the year you received gift, okay, not on account of marriage, okay, from friends. In aggregate mean 20. So 10 times I am received. So 20,000 into 10, 2 lakhs. These 2 lakhs will be taxable as income from other sources. These 2 lakhs will be taxable as income from other sources. Okay, that's why 50,000 in aggregate. 50,000 in aggregate means you have to total. Next, this is as far as cash is concerned. Others, what is others? Sometimes gift by way of immovable property. Gift by way of immovable property. Okay, suppose if it is given by someone else, gift. So as far as transfer is concerned, you know very well, transaction not recorded as transfer under capital gain, gift will inheritance. It is not transfer. Thereby, gift is not a transfer. Thereby, it is not taxable by transfer. So not yet transfer. So no capital gain tax attracted. In case of transfer, what about transferring? See, if transfer is in gift, okay, by way of immovable property, the stamp duty value exceeds 50,000. Repeat, stamp duty value exceeds 50,000. then it is taxable as income from other sources. And finally, after, listen carefully, once it is taxable in future, okay, that taxable value is cost of acquisition for transferee. Catch my point? See, say 1 lakh value is gifted by some x to y. So for x, it is not a tax because it's not a gift, is not a transfer. Thereby no tax, capital gain tax attracted. What about y? So y received gift 1 lakh worth, which is more than 50,000. It is taxable. That 1 lakh is taxable as income from other sources. In future, Mr. Y sell the property, say 3 lakhs. So sale value 3 lakhs less cost of acquisition 1 lakh. So gift is no. Gift is taxable here. Why? Since more than 50,000. For another example, X transfer to Y, say 30,000. Okay, for transfer no taxable. What about Y? Y also exempted because stamp duty value 30,000, which is less than 50,000. In future, Mr. Y sell the property into 2 lakhs. 2 lakhs less cost of acquisition nil. Why nil? Because it is less than 50,000, it is not taxable. If it is more than 50,000, it is taxable as income from other sources. You understand? This is for gift. What is inadequate consideration? Inadequate consideration is nothing but, see, X and Y are friends. Okay, childhood friends. So Y wants to sell the property, X wants to buy. Okay, both are friends that way. So the sale price is definitely is not true value. So on account of this inadequate consideration, nothing but purchase price less than stamp duty value. Purchase price less than stamp duty value. We already studied in income from capital gain, section 50C. In case of seller, section 50C will attracted, the rate is taxable, subject to that 105% provisions. Just recall. Please recall income capital gain. What about buyer? Difference between stamp duty value and purchase price exceeds 50,000. Of course, and also exceeds 5%. The difference is taxable under income from other sources. This is for immovable property. What about movable property? Movable property also same. By way of gift, transfer are not taxable. What about transferee? Fair market value exceeds 50,000. It is taxable as income from other sources. What about inadequate consideration? Purchase price less than fair market price or fair market value. In case of seller, capital gain is computed. It is taxable under income from capital gain. What about buyer? Difference between fair market value or fair market price and purchase price exceeds 50,000. Then it will be taxable as income from other sources. This is very important gift. Just you note it down. This flow chart definitely is useful. Okay. And finally, one more section is there. Okay, after this, I think provision will be completed. After income other sources, we are going to take up either depreciation or set off or carry forward. We'll see. Note it down, one more section. Section 56 to 7B. Fast. Fast section. Section 56 to 7B, important provision, last provision. Okay, from okay. After this provision, I think the class is over. It's over. See the problems pending on income from house property, income from capital gain, and income from other sources. We will discuss later videos. Separately problems. I'll put problems and solutions. Okay, don't worry. See section 56 to 7B. Where a closed-held company, you know very well, what is closed-held company? Yes, private company, issues a shares to a resident at a premium and issue price is more than fair market value, then the difference between the issue price and the fair market value shall be chargeable to tax. It is tax under income from other sources. Okay, repeat, where a closed-held company issues a shares to a resident at a premium and issue price is more than the fair market value, then the difference between the issue price and fair market value shall be chargeable to tax. So I will explain this provision with the help of illustration. Say question number 1, just for purpose of knowledge. X Private Limited issues 20,000 shares. X Private Limited is something called closed deal company, issues 20,000 shares to Mr. A. He is a resident on 20/2/2020. Okay, these shares are issued in one of the following situations. Different situations given. Okay, different situation A, B, C, D. Okay, provision says, see, issue price 10. Clearly says that issue shares at a resident at a premium. Very important. Premium means fair value 10. Okay, if you issue more than 10, then only the provision is applicable. So in the case A, it is not applicable. It is not applicable. Why, sir? Because issue price is at par. Second case, rupees 9 at discount. Provision clearly says at premium, thereby out. Next, issue price 40. Super, sir. Okay. Clearly, see, just closely watch. Closed deal company issue shows shares to a resident at a premium, and the issue price is very important, more than fair market value. Carefully watch. See, shares, closed deal company issued shares to a resident, that to premium, that to more than fair value. See, this is premium, but less than fair value, they are being on. Understand? Finally, issue at premium, yes, good. And also issue price is more than fair market value, thereby this is applicable. How much taxable? The difference between issue price and the fair market value is nothing but 9 rupees. How many shares? 20,000 shares. Therefore, taxable value is 1,80,000. It is taxable as income from other sources. That's my point. Says provision 56 to 7b. Okay, for this we concluded income from other sources. So all provisions almost we will discuss. Okay. Note it down.